Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Inside Movies Galore. I'm your host, David Streggy, and today I have another review for you from a filmmaker out in West Virginia, I believe. And his name is Brad Twigg. He runs Fuzzy Monkey Films with Leslie Monk. And when I first saw the Facebook page for MILFs versus Zombies, I ended up messaging the Facebook site and got a hold of a copy, but I also got a hold of a copy of Ghoulish Tales, which was Brad Twigg's first anthology from 2014. And here it is in all its glory with its original artwork. Definitely kind of cool. And what's interesting is I remember this because this was the first time that I had actually contacted the director, and later we became friends, and maybe that might make me a little biased, but I don't really give a shit. He also sent me a copy of his short film, The House of Profane, which eventually became part of the Omnibus of Blood anthology, which I shall later review. But in any case, so Ghoulish Tales, it wasn't even that it was a great film, and even Brad seems to understand that it wasn't his best put together. But the film is an anthology that was inspired by Creepshow and Tales from the Crypt, Tales from the Hood type, other Christmas horror tales. So the film begins as you hear Silent Night playing in the background, and then pans in on a department store Santa named Buck, laying back after Christmas Eve, explaining that he'll have to look for another job because since a child named Susie felt his penis underneath his suit, apparently to his girlfriend Momo as she's getting off of a shift. They seem like they are a pair of hicks. Meanwhile, it wasn't his girlfriend, but an escaped mental patient who has found his way into their home. Unbeknownst to the girlfriend, who kind of looks like Reba McEntire from Tremors, she goes and takes a shower. Since Santa thinks he's going to deck her halls, the escaped patient walks in and cuts Santa's head off with some shears and continues into the bathroom. As he cuts the girlfriend open while she's showering, she screams and chokes with her own intestines. So the first story in here is called "'Tis the Season." Next, we see a babysitter named Monica arrive, talking to the father of Logan, which is her charge, Frank, and husband of Rebecca and their son, who she's been babysitting. Evidently, this is the Monica's last night taking care of him before heading out of town to New York, while Frank and his wife, it's their anniversary, so they're going out for the night. Logan, their son, is excited to see Monica. Obviously, we see a lot of Christmas decorations in the house. A little over Christmassy to me, though. Soon his parents leave, and Logan cons Monica into telling him scary stories, and this is where it truly begins. So in the first film, called The Cat Lady, a tenant neighbor coming back from a run notices a stench coming from the next door and calls the landlady, who can't do anything till that neighbor comes back. Apparently a woman who loved cats a little too much. I liked this segment because, in a way, it paid tribute to schlock science fiction with two women who looked like Ginger and Marianne from Gilligan's Island, with a UFO in the background of a military man shooting a machine gun in a Star Trek uniform. Anyways, the stench got to the tenant, so she went and investigated herself, or instigated herself. With her neighbor, and was getting eaten alive by her feline friends. The next segment is called The Break-In, where we have Mike and Rob and Pam, who are criminals, and enforcing a guy after some missing drugs. So we see them shoot a guy pleading for his life. They congregate at a strip joint to figure out how to collect their dough from a movie producer by the name of Ian Thomas that still owes Mike $1,000 for all the coke he gave him. So they concoct a plan to go in thinking dude's granddaughter, who inherited the house, which you have to admit is filled with cool-looking movie memorabilia. When they go to the safe, steal the money, and get the duck out before the granddaughter returns, whom, according to Mike, is only a hooker. Little do Pam and Rob know, she comes back sooner with a couple, bites his penis off, and I'll have to say, this is the worst part of the movie. Actually, I thought that this part was actually kind of hysterical. If you get your dick off and you react more like more than this kid did, I'm sorry, Brad. Even I could have reacted better than this so-called computer nerd. In any case, the granddaughter is a vampire and kills all but one, and we end up seeing the main drug dude get attacked by his own crew. There's some nudity in both of these last tales, but I'm not a total fan of chicks with tats. But to each their own. In between, a guy comes to the door and tells them of an escaped patient that had escaped to watch out for, and that a neighbor down the street was sitting and leaving it in people's mailboxes. Monica acted like there wasn't really any concern, which was strange, since anyone else would have raced back inside freaking. So like in Mills vs. Zombies, we get a breaking news broadcast by Skip Baxter, played by world-famous reviewer, movie collector Sean C. Phillips. I say world-famous because he pretty much can't help but try to act in every single movie that he can get his hands on involving himself into. It makes a difference, a reference to eating Twinkies. A little funny since he's lost quite a bit of weight since then. In any case, the guy warning about the killer runs into the now Santa suit wearing mental patient, thinking he's the guy who whacks off to his wife and slits the dude in the throat. So a security guard thinks that the mental patient is Buck, the guy at the beginning who who got his head sheared off. In the final segment, which is called True Love, interrupted by a commercial for a great gargantuan Goliath bodybuilding supplement. Order now. You get a free tube of Dick Gisler's Pens cream. Working two jobs to support her a loser of a boyfriend, Ariana goes to pay off rent to her perverted landlord. arriving late at work and getting fired for not sleeping with her asshole perv of a boss. She then goes to gang with her best friend James, who secretly loves her. What's funny is they watch a horror movie about a man who stabs a girl with a twirling rubber dildo. James is approached by a strange woman who appears to know a lot about him, his dreams, and offers that he can make artisans love him. James just honestly wants her happy for a small fee, his body and his blood and soul. In the end, the voodoo priestess betrays him to bring back her lover from the grave and takes Ariana's soul instead, turning her into a zombie. She did promise she'd get them together. Meanwhile, it turns out that the escaped mental patient is Monica's real father, as he kills Logan's parents as they come back from their celebration, choking Rachel with some Christmas tree lights, and grabs Logan up in a child-sized stocking and walks out of the door with his daughter as if he's collected for the naughty list. Though there was some really bad acting involved between Buck and the geeky computer kid, I relatively enjoyed this. Yes, this wasn't exactly the best of Brad's efforts, but I think I think and feel that he tried with the actors given to him, and he does love horror, as I believe this film was heavily influenced by films such as like Silent Night, Deadly Night, and Creepshow. I think it was definitely corny enough, so I have to say that I will recommend this to all the fans of independent horror films out there. It wasn't entirely all bad. It was an okay film, and it's at least worth a one-time watch. At least if you want to get into the first beginning, inspirations of where Brad comes from. In any case, thank you for listening. Hopefully you enjoyed my description of this film. Like and subscribe to my page if you have not. Definitely check out some of my other reviews. I will definitely have some more cool reviews coming out as I watch movies all the time. Love discussing them and just love sharing my thoughts on these films for you and the public that's out there. So thank you for appreciating my channel, and have a great day, evening, or morning, wherever you are. Thank you ahead of time for the traffic.